Merry Christmas, and I love each and every one of you. One thing, one thing I wholeheartedly believe with everything I have. Everything happens for a reason, and there are no coincidences. Okay? And I believe that. It just so happens, man, when I was in college, I had to. It was either I had to. It was I either had to write a paper. It was for some kind of assignment, or like it was a group, maybe a group project. I don't know what it was, but I had to go find. I'll never forget this, man. I had to find the relationship, a relationship between narcissistic mothers and like the amount of times the rate or the presence of, I can't think of the right word, but of eating disorders, anorexia nervosa and bulimia in their daughters. Turns out, I believe I remember there's a pretty good relationship there. But anyway, in doing so, I learned a whole bunch of shit about narcissistic mothers. Okay, you guys remember, this is back in the 1980s. We didn't have the internet and all that, right? This would have been me in the college and in library getting reference books and either taking notes out of it, or if I was going to use a lot of the information, I would just copy the whole pages with the fucking copy machine and take it with me, right, and do it, later. Well, so I had to get actual books. We didn't just type shit in Google, and so I didn't just find what I was looking for. You know what I mean? That specific thing. I read a whole bunch of shit about narcissistic mothers. Turns out, even way back then, that's a big field of study there about just narcissistic mothers, man. Which I guess, they have a big impact on their children. They fuck their children up real good. But there's a lot of research and literature and peer-reviewed literature and all types of shit on it. And this is leading to something. Breastfeeding with Gypsy Rose Blanchard. This is another huge piece of circumstantial evidence. Now, a lot of people think I'm crazy on this one, but I wanted to sit down and just explain it out and hear me out, okay? When I was searching that information, when I was reading all this crazy shit about these narcissistic mothers, the topic of breastfeeding was one of them. And they go, narcissistic mothers go one of two ways. Well, wait, you know what? Let's back this up. First of all, any of you that are viewing right now, I'm going to ask you to stipulate. Can we all stipulate to the fact that Gypsy Rose Blanchard is indeed a narcissist of some variety? I say she's a covert narcissist because she tries to pretend like she's good and generous and wonderful and nice and blah. Meanwhile, she's doing evil shit. She won't ever confront anybody. She's a coward. She's passive aggressive. While others argue that no, she's an outright overt narcissist, right in your face, up in your. I don't believe that, but one could argue either way. But as long as we're on the same page, and and you can agree to that she's a narcissist. Otherwise, just scroll on away for this one. It's not for you, because I'm going to need you to stipulate to that, because we're talking about narcissistic mothers. And if Gypsy were a mother, which she's not, then all of you that accept that she's a narcissist of some kind, then I'm certain you would agree that if she were a mother, then she would be a narcissistic mother, right? Of course she would, right? All right. And here's the deal with breastfeeding. It's very interesting. They go one of two ways. They either don't do it at all because they're too fucking selfish, and but they're not going to put it on them like they're just not doing it because they don't want to. No. They're going to blame it on some external shit. All right? Probably on the baby, or if there's some sneaky way they can blame it on their husband somehow. Or the baby. The baby's just not taking, they're just not doing enough. They're not showing interest, or not, maybe she tried with it once or twice and that, or, oh, I'm just not producing any milk or whatever. They'll make up some kind of lie to make themselves look good, maybe get some sympathy, like, oh, Woodson couldn't make milk. They might do that, something like that. Or they just won't do it at all. They'll get out of it, but they'll never just say it's because I just don't want to do it. They won't do that. They'll blame it on something else that's out of their control. And if they can get a little sympathy out of it, they'll milk it for that too. No pun intended. The other way they go is they breastfeed for a very long time. I think most women breastfeed, not more than a year. I think most people, right? But these women are breastfeeding the longer periods of time, 2.5, 3 years, stuff like that. All right, because this is virtue signaling to the max for them. Because breastfeeding, if you're doing it right, I mean, it encompasses at first, maybe not when they're older like that. I'm sure it's different because they're eating food and all this, I guess. But when they're first born, my wife's been through it. I watched my mother go through it. I have a sister that's 8 years younger than me. I watched my daughters go through it. It encompasses your whole life, especially as far as how you got to schedule everything and all this, And if you got a baby that, my daughter she had a big boy, man. He was up every couple hours when he was wanting to eat, man. And it's the most selfless thing you can do, but it's the best, and it's the best thing you can do for your newborn baby. There's nothing better you can do, man. I understand some women can't or what have you, but if you can, man, it's the best thing you can do for them, right? Well, they'll go the other way, man, because they want the attention and they want people to say what a great, wonderful mother they are, and they can cover up all the other shady shit they're doing. Look how giving they are. Oh my God, they breastfeed. They're so great. And that's how they do it. One or the other, all right? One or the other. So I ask you, let's think about this. Use your logic, use your common sense, right? Use your discernment. Human nature. We know what Gypsy is: an attention-seeking whore, an attention seeker of the absolute highest order. And we know she's a narcissist one way or the other. Right? We know that. No mention of breastfeeding at all. Zero. She stayed completely away from it. They told her, I guarantee you they told her, stay away from breastfeeding. The topic, do not talk about it. If they ask questions, drop the subject. Don't get involved. Don't try to answer any questions like that, Gypsy, because you'll get fucked up. Okay? Because all you need is a woman or two at a podcast or an interview or something that's had a couple kids. One, it worked real well, and then she had another one that there was all these different problems came up, and then another one, that's had all these different experiences that knows about it. Well, did you just dry up? Did you get this? Did this happen? Right? And then she would have been all fucked up and not know what to say because she didn't breastfeed because no milk came in because she never had a baby. You see, that's why, you guys, one way or another, it was a win-win for her. It was a win-win for her, and once again, no pun intended, she would have milked it for everything it's fucking worth. She would have. If she didn't produce milk, only 6.2% of women in all of the world are unable to produce milk to nourish their young. And listen, man, that's worldwide. And our nutritional status here is, people aren't starving and shit here. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's the women that are unable to are probably in a higher rate are in the countries where they're not getting the nutrition that's available here. Okay? Dragging the percentage up to 6. Okay? Most women can produce milk. Okay? Now, please, in the comments, I don't want all the anecdotes. I couldn't. I said, okay, most women, though. Okay? If 6% worldwide, you line up 100 women, okay? There's only 6 of them that can't do it. And she would have went on and on about, I've tried. She would have been pumping in front of us, and I tried and I can't, and the milk wouldn't come in and nothing. And we would have heard all the cliches about the things and all the things they say that she's looked up online about I know the bonding that comes with that breastfeeding and they get the immunities, and she'd come up with every little fact and every little good thing that comes with breastfeeding, and she'd cry about it and make this big fucking drama. And I hope it doesn't, impede her development because of this, and the bonding is not there because blah, 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 blah. We would have heard that if she wasn't able to produce milk. We would have heard it. They would have, just like when she did that stupid bassinet training. Remember that? On her YouTube channel? Bassinet training. That's not even a thing. That is not even a thing. Bassinets are a small little thing for when they're brand new and they can't do anything but eat, shit, and sleep, and that's all they're supposed to do. It's a convenience, mode of convenience, actually. It's so you can have a little thing. It's only big enough to where they're couple months old and they're grown out of it. It's for convenience, so it can be there in the room with you next to your bed, so you can pick it up and either put it on your tit or get to it quick enough to pick it up and then go make the bottle for whatever it is you're doing. All right? There's no such thing as bassinet training. This bitch made a whole video and had someone videoing her and made it look like time was lapsing all this time, and she's trying to bassinet train her video bassinet train her baby like it's a fucking, I don't know, man. I've never heard of that, bassinet training. That is not a thing. You guys. So that's what I mean. She did that. We would have surely, if she couldn't produce milk for her baby, we would have heard her go on and cry about it. We would have heard it, man. And then if she could, holy fuck, they would have had it, man. She would have made sure that they had lives going and all this. And I got to go run and feed the baby so she can look like the great, which then I would have gave her props. It is a selfless thing. It is a wonderful thing. And I know it's a lot of work, man. I've seen it. My wife got mastitis the one time and got infected, and her breasts turned bright red. And she got a high fever. It was terrible. She had to go back to the hospital and all this. We had to stop breastfeeding, of course, and all this. But even when it works and it works right and everything is going great, man, it's a lot of work. And we would have heard about it. We would have heard about it either way, you guys. There's no way, man. There's no way. So I just wanted to say that, okay? It's absolutely ridiculous, you guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. And when I got a couple more minutes, I want to talk about this Munchausen syndrome by proxy. That's another thing that makes me crazy. Number one, Dee Dee is dead. There's no way you could ever say that she has that and try to diagnose her with that postmortem. Number two, this is bullshit. A paralegal came up with that and floated that idea to try to get her out of it. What they did is they used some things that they were doing, the medical tests and shit, and they conflated that with things that sometimes mothers with Munchausen end up having done and stuff. But that's not at all what it is. They're fucking idiots, man. But they mind fucked everybody. Okay? Dee Dee, number one, those tests she had, all those tests she had was because those were symptoms of her fucking microdeletion. You can go down the list. It's difficulty swallowing. All the things that she had done, I don't have time. Okay, she found out about the microdeletion in 2011. All this shit was done before that. So, duh, that makes because she was trying to figure it out. Okay, so you get it. But do you understand? Well, what I'm trying to tell you here, guys, is when Dee Dee started faking things and exaggerating things, it was for money. Munchausen has nothing to do with that. It's for attention. These women make their kids sick and they hurt them. So they can take them to the brink of death and then save them. Oh my God. Or in the hospital, they're near damn dying. These people actually hurt them and poison them and do things for attention. It's for attention for them. Those people are fucking evil. That is not what Dee Dee was doing. Dee Dee was exaggerating things and feigning things a little bit for gain. She wasn't hurting her and making her go through all these crazy kind of things and tests like that, they're saying, and doing all these things and hurting her and all that for attention. She wasn't doing that. There's nothing to do with Munchausen. I'm running out of time, and that sucks, man, because I had a lot to say about this. Maybe I'll do another video. See you guys. Merry Christmas. I love you.